So you're curious about my courses, but you're just like not exactly sure which one is the right one for you. I will take care of this and answer all of your questions. If I don't by chance answer your questions during this, please DM me. Um, and if I don't respond right away, DM me again. I'm a busy mom. I'm trying to do all of the private practice stuff, online business stuff, and it's just me and myself running the show. So forgive me for getting to this now. I've been meaning to record something like this, but I'm sharing my screen. This is my store. I have a stand store where I keep all of my courses. Um, so what you're going to get with these courses, and just like a little bit of transparency, or a lot of it. I get DMs all the time from moms who are like, they don't know what to do first. There's all of this influence on Instagram. And one of the big reasons why I got into Instagram is because there's so much misinformation out there. A big one is that like enlarged tonsils and adenoids are caused by mouth breathing, and they're certainly not. Um, there's just all these providers online who have conflicting views, and you won't know, or you won't really know who to trust in this space until you do maybe some of your own research, and maybe you find a group of providers online that have like the same vision or the same beliefs. There's just this divide in this airway space, and it's like you just don't know who to trust. But I'm really happy you're here. I'm a mom of two. I have both my kids have airway issues. They're currently in their expanders and not quite seeing results quite yet, but and expanders are not my specialty. I let airway dentists and orthodontists figure that all out. All I know is that you need to get the best expansion to help support the airway. You're like, why am I talking about God knows what? Let's get to the goods. All right. If you're curious, let's start with this tonsil and adenoid course. My biggest, I would say my biggest questions, good Lord. The most questions I get are about enlarged tonsils and adenoids. Um, and I love all of you so much. I just can't go into an hour-long lecture about enlarged tonsils and adenoids, why they're enlarged, like what to do, next steps. So that's why I created a whole course, because you need to know all of the information to make an executive decision about, do you get them removed? Do you get like a naturopath to help you shrink them naturally? So if we go and dive into this course specifically. All right, get course. All right, it's going to be difficult, so I'm just going to go on my edited one. Okay, so you just click get course, and this is the original price. I am going to run I do run like discounted prices every once in a while. But all the things that you're going to learn, why tonsils and adenoids matter, why they get enlarged, what may keep the cycle going, airway red flags, when is surgery needed? Because you could go through all of these avenues and try to do it the natural way, and you still have to end up doing surgery because your kid has this sleep disorder or possibly sleep apnea. There's just so much into making this the best decision for your child. Oh, it's not Mother's Day anymore. Gotta update that. See what I mean? Like, I I can't keep up with like everything. Maybe I need to hire somebody. Uh, all right. So the bonus resources that you're gonna get. So I have links on where to find a good airway dentist or a myofunctional therapist. And I have also links for homeopath and naturopath options, other providers like that do virtual or in person, and then resources to find the right myofunctional therapist, because myo is such a complex modality that I find the ones that don't necessarily say they have the training, but they're doing myo, there's just this like divide. So what you could do is like, where did you get your training for myo? That's a valid question, and it's definitely your right to know if you're going to shell out a bunch of money for myo. So I have a whole document with questions to ask your myofunctional therapist to make sure it's a good fit. And then you're going to get supported studies. I go over some studies within this course, one of them being talking about Flonase versus saline spray. And then questions to ask your ENT and airway dentist so you feel confident going into that appointment. There's so much unknown. A good example being ENT will not scope your child's adenoids unless you ask for it. That's just how it's always been. That's their protocol. They won't do it unless like you tell them to. So that's kind of part of this course, is making sure you're prepared for ENT. If you haven't done your 30, 60, 6-month follow-up, also prepping you for that, because you need to do something about the enlarged tonsils and adenoids, like point blank. I would say this course, and before I continue, I consulted with 2 airway ENTs and 1 myofunctional therapist. 2. So 2 myofunctional therapists and then 1 airway dentist about this course. And I'm like, does this seem pretty cohesive and like gives people all of the knowledge? And they confirmed yes. So it's not like I just made this course out of nothing. I made sure that I had really good information from the professionals that see all these airway kids. All right, I don't want to spend too much time on this one, but this is a really, really, really good course. Airway Reset at Home. This is for the parents who know a little bit about, I would say like an intermediate course for parents who know a good amount about mouth breathing, but they like don't know where to start. So what I provide is the education. There are exercises in here that you can like start doing, almost like an exercise program. But also, if you want the best result, you obviously need to see a myofunctional therapist. And this is for ages 5 to 12. You could do 4 years old, as young as 4 years old. It just depends on your kids' like skill level and how well they can follow direction, because this is the piece where they need to follow like direction appropriately in order to get the best success with these exercises. But it's not all about the exercises. I'm sure you've heard me say that before. Nasal hygiene, like making sure the nose is clear all the time. A lot of times it's the inflammation that gets missed, and it's not this like boogery congestion. It's just like stuffiness and inflammation. So we need to make absolute sure that everything is clear. So if somebody is like, I want to learn more about myo and mouth breathing and my kids' airway health, this is the course. A lot of education and exercises. Early airway support course. So same idea as the airway reset at home. You need a lot of information in order to succeed in the exercises and eliminate mouth breathing and get a better oral rest posture. Before I forget, another question I frequently get asked is, from somebody who bought this course, have they seen success? And I cannot tell you that, because I'll send follow-up emails and I'll try to get feedback from these courses, and just nobody's responding. So being transparent about that, I wish I could give you that data, but everything in these courses are everything that I do with my own clients, whether they're in person or they're my coaching clients. This is all of the shit that I use with them. So, and yes, if you do the work and you do it the right way, you will see success. early airway support course. Let's be clear, this is a common misconception, but speech language pathologists can address kids and mouth breathing and oral rest posture that are younger than 4, as long as they have feeding therapy background or training. So part of this is like, yes, we can eliminate mouth breathing in a baby and in a toddler and near reaching school age kid, because we need to make sure the nose is clear, and then we need to get the right jaw, lip, and tongue exercises. But these are different exercises that involve a lot of like play and like games. But then for the younger babies, it's you're doing the exercise on the baby to get that good lip, tongue, and jaw strength, more jaw forward posture, and all that good stuff. So when somebody comes to me and says, I have a mouth breather at home, where do I start? I know a little bit about Airway. This is the course that I recommend. Not only do you need the exercises, yes, but most of the time the exercises are not the thing that's going to make the most progress. It's the nose. We need to make sure the nose is clear all the time, the tongue is up. If we're dealing with narrow palate situation, there's just so much to this course that you're going to get a lot more clarity once you're done with this course. I can confirm I have gotten great feedback from this course and my Airway Reset at Home. And then I've had 2 people respond to my emails saying that the tonsil and adenoid course was very informative, and then they felt good about making a decision and like going forward with naturopath. So I can verbally tell you, but I have like some DMs I could go through and try to find them. Okay, the exercises. So baby exercises, the 1 to 3, the 4 to 12. So the 1 to 3 and the 4 to 12, the 1 to 3, those exercises are coming from the early airway support course. So if you're just like, Megan, I don't need your knowledge. I know a lot of stuff. Even though I would encourage you to still do the informative course, because there's probably stuff that you're missing. You could just do the exercises, and then same with the baby ones. There's some from the early airway support course, but I have some other ones that are in there. So I wouldn't advise you to purchase early airway support course and the baby exercises, because there's going to be baby exercises in there. And then, yeah, again, this one's the 4 to 12, that's just exercises. There's 12 in each. These ones, toddler airway parent masterclass. So you have some information about the toddler airway space, but I would say if you're a beginner, this will help get you to that intermediate space. Same with the how to eliminate mouth breathing in your baby. You're a beginner and you want to get to that intermediate space. I really hope this was helpful. Sorry for my yapping, but I hope you stuck around and you get a lot more clarity. And I'll see you inside these courses. There's a reason why I don't have a shitload of courses, because this is quality stuff. Like if I were to do a lecture, this is the stuff that I would talk about, because all of this stuff is the education that I provide to my in-person clients and my coaching clients. If you need some more clarity and you think you just want somebody to just tell you what to do, then I would advise my coaching program. It's basically, I'm teaching parents how to become their own kids' myofunctional therapists. Whether you have a baby, toddler, or a school age kid, I can do any ages. Okay? Thank you for joining me.